Hello YouTube, this is Johnny. Booktube. I just made a video. I'm downloading it right now. It is still Wednesday, July the 17th, 2019. It's 10:07 at night now. And I know I don't usually do this, make two videos in one night, but those books I got at the Friends of the Library Used book sale today, I wasn't counting on that. Usually I get one book when I volunteer. I don't get that many. So it was unusual, and I wanted to get them down on the lower level because knowing me, I'll probably get books tomorrow, I'll get books Friday, I'll get books Saturday, I'll get books Sunday, I'll get books Monday. Obviously, I'll still keep buying books. Now, I don't know what I'll find. Maybe I won't find as much as I did today, but I'm sure I usually get around 60 books at the Friends of the Library Used book sale. Usually around 60. Now maybe I'm exaggerating, but at least 20, if not more. Now I don't know. Like I said, I didn't look intensely at all the books. I didn't look at travel. I didn't look at the paperbacks. I didn't look that closely at the fiction. I didn't look closely at the religion. I didn't look at the multimedia, the CDs, the DVDs. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. Well, see, Friday I volunteer at the Book Nook. So I'll probably open up early on Friday at 9:30. And, well, no, the book sale starts at 9:30 for the Friends of the Library. We get in first before the public. So what I'll do Friday, I'll get in line at 9:30. And I'll go in with the other people, the people who are members, and I'll just go to like the paperbacks and travel. And then I'll go to the Book Nook and open up the bookstore. We make a lot of money at the Book Nook when we have the Friends of the Library book sale. We probably pull in a couple $100. Last year, I think we pulled in at the Friends of the Library book sale $14,000, which is a lot of money. And maybe, hopefully, we'll pull in more than that this year, at least 15, 16,000. Now, all this money that goes to different programs in the public library. I don't know how it's dispersed, but it all goes back into the public library. But the reason why I'm making this video is that I initially was going to make tonight the books that I got at the thrift stores. The other day I went to a thrift store. I had to go up, and I mentioned I got a haircut and went to Family Fair and got bread and milk and a couple of bottles of wine. And before I went to Goodwill, and my wife, she had visited her elderly friend there in Douglas, Michigan, which is just south of us. And she stopped at a thrift store there in Douglas, and she bought me some used books. So I was going to just put these down on the lower level because I didn't want to overburden you, overwhelm you with all the books. Now, as I've mentioned many, many, many times over the 3 years that I've made videos, I am a book collector. I collect books. That's my hobby. Some people collect antique cars. Some people collect art. Some people collect stuffed animals, bears, or I collect books, and we have a lot of room. Now, my wife did say today that once again we're running out of room. But like I said this evening in my other video, that we're going to be on a fixed income sooner than I know, and I'll have to drastically cut back on what my book consumption, which will be fine with me, because I think what I could do in my Booktube channel is just do in-depth reviews. I could just go to different directions in my videos. I can do all kinds of things, and it's just that by nature I'm kind of lazy. When I was in Bible college and seminary, I had to do a lot of write papers and do book reviews and do research papers and do term papers. I had to write. And when I was teaching adult Sunday school, I had to do prepare lessons and do a lot of research and studying and for my classes. And I thought to myself, when I started Booktube 3 years ago, I could easily do in-depth book reviews, but I'm just kind of mentally lazy. I want this to be spontaneous. I want it to be real. I want to speak from my guts. I don't want to be, this is all orchestrated. This is not a TV show. I'm not a highbrow intellectual. I'm just an ordinary guy, a lover of the Lord Jesus Christ, and who loves books. And I want to be, when I make these videos in Booktube, they're kind of just spontaneous. It goes back to Jack Kerouac, spontaneous prose, stream of consciousness, just being totally real. I don't believe in being fake. I don't believe in being pretentious. I don't believe in presenting a false image of myself, even though I know that some things about myself, especially my faith in the Bible and the Lord Jesus Christ, might turn off people who are atheistic or God haters or just straight out, pagans, whatever. But that's one thing I like about Booktube and YouTube. We have every variety of people on Booktube, YouTube. Every conceivable world and life view, philosophical view, religious view, literary taste, politics. It just goes on and on and on and on. And so I'm here just to show, just to set forth my understanding of what it means to be a disciple, a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ, who loves books, not only Christian books, but who also loves secular literature, art books, biographies, memoirs, letters, travel books, essays, literary criticism. This goes on and on and on and on. There's just no end. So before this video gets too long, these are the books I got at a thrift store the other day. I showed you this novel by this Israeli writer, Aaron Appelfeld, Katerina. So I got that. This is a book by a British writer, A Year in the Merde, by Stephen Clarke. It's like a humorous take on a Brit who goes to Paris. It's fiction, and he sets up tea shops. I don't know. It's on Paris. It's on France. So I bought it. This is Annie Dillard, The Writing Life. I'd like to collect books on the writing life. What does it mean to be a writer? The trials and tribulations of being a writer. The pitfalls, the ups and downs. And so I got this. I used to collect Annie Dillard. I don't as much as I used to. This is the Oxford History of the French Revolution by William Doyle. And we just had Bastille Day. And I read, like I said, I'm on France, Paris, French history, European history. I have a novel by this guy. His name is Brad Leithauser. And I have his novel Friends of the Free Land, which I went looking for the other night and couldn't find, so I don't know where it is. But this is his novel, The Art Student's War. And when I looked at it, he wrote a novel called Darlington's Fall, a novel in verse that was recommended by John Updike, who I don't know. I looked at this. I looked at his face. Now I must admit, when I look at a novel, I look at the writer's face, and sometimes I look at the face of a writer like that. And now he looks pretty serious. Brad Leithauser was born in Detroit, graduated from Harvard College, Harvard Law School. He is the author of 5 previous novels, a novel in verse, 5 volumes of poetry, 2 collections of light verse, and a book of essays. Among many awards and honors are a MacArthur Fellowship. In 2005, the induction by the President of Iceland into the Order of Falcon for his writings on Nordic literature. He is a professor in writing seminars at Johns Hopkins University, etc. So he sounds somebody who's got his shit together, I suppose. Now my wife got these books at this thrift store. Now I usually don't buy books on Afghanistan war or Iraq but I don't know. My wife bought them, so I might look at them. This is called The Looming Tower, Al-Queda, and The Road to 9/11 by Lawrence Wright, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. Al-Queda, I can't pronounce it. And she bought me this interviews with Studs Terkel, Hope Dies Fast, Keeping the Faith in Troubled Times. I don't collect him. Studs Terkel, I don't know. Now, she got me this memoir by Jane Smalley, and when I got rid of 19 boxes of books and sent them to the Book Nook last year, I got rid of all my Jane Smalley novels, except I did keep that one I showed you that I finally found, which was on the Greenlanders. I kept that one. So I don't know why she got me this memoir by Jane Smiley, A Year at the Races, Reflections on Horses, Humans, Love, Money, and Luck. I don't know, but my wife bought it. So then she bought me this historical novel on Rasputin's daughter by Robert Alexander. I have a biography on Rasputin. I think he was a religious person to the Tsar of Russia, but I don't know. Then she bought me this novel. No, it's not novel. Nonfiction. Chain of Command, The Road from 9/11 to Abu Ghraib by Seymour M. Hersh. He wrote that famous book on Kennedy, The Dark Side of Camelot, 1997. I have some other nonfiction books by him. I got these at the Book Nook last Monday. Bismarck. This is a biography by Edward Crankshaw. I have 3 other nonfiction books by him on Russian history. And then I bought this big table book on Bauhaus, 1919 to 1933. This was an architect design movement in Germany before the rise of Nazism, and then it was exported into America. I don't know. I collect books on the Bauhaus. I don't know. It's just something I'm kind of curious about. Some of those leaders in the Bauhaus movement when the war broke, the Second World War broke out, they immigrated to New York City, and they were leaders in the architect and art movement in New York City in the 40s and 50s and 60s. I don't know. I just collect books like this. So yeah, you know, they did, you know, all kinds of things. Those buildings like that. So anyway, I got Bacchus, I got Bismarck, Smiley, a memoir, a year at the races, interviews with Studs Terkel, Looming, Tower, Al-Queda, I can't pronounce it. The Road to 9/11 by Lawrence Wright, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. A novel by Brad Leithauser, Art Students' War. A nonfiction by Seymour M. Hersh, Chain of Command. Historical novel on Rasputin's daughter by Robert Alexander. Oxford History of the French Revolution by William Doyle. The Writing Life by Anne Dillard. A Year in the Merde by Stephen Clarke. He quotes here the Rocky Mountain News. Laugh out loud, hilarious, great intellectual puns, a ferocious spirit and playful attitude about the obscurities of foreign culture. And then this novel by Aharen Appelfeld, Katerina, translated out of the Hebrew by Jeffrey M. Green. What I'm reading tonight is The Taste of the Truffle Pig by Fernando A. Flores. This is what I've been carrying around. Now, this morning I did read that Biblical Theology New Testament before I went off to volunteer to set up for the library used book sale, but I've been reading this since I got home and this evening. I'm halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it. So now I can put all these books down on the lower level and get ready for some more to pile up in the living room. So it is 10:24 at night here on a Wednesday. It's July the 17th. And usually I go to bed around 11 o'clock, 11:30. Now I'm kind of overstimulated intellectually, mentally. So I don't know. I'm kind of surprised. I've been kind of awake today. Usually I get kind of sleepy, but I suppose I've been just going. So I'm kind of hyper a little bit. So I don't know. I won't be able to get really sleepy until midnight unless I take something to knock me out. So yeah, so once again, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing, and hope you're all doing well. And until next time, bye.